What is up, guys, and welcome back to another day here with the Auto Works. Today is all about that Harbor Freight purple paint gun. I know you've seen it before. You've probably used it a time or two also. It's a very popular, very affordable, cheap paint gun. Let me show you real quick. The Harbor Freight Purple Central Pneumatic 20 fluid ounce high volume low pressure gravity fed spray gun, guys. We've all used it a time or two. If you're new into painting and you haven't picked one up, definitely go try it. It's kind of a rite of passage. A lot of people go and pick these things up and get like 10 of them at a time. They'll use them. They won't even clean them. They'll throw them away and they'll just pick up another one the next time. Or just use it as a cheap primer gun or whatever else. A lot of people will keep a bunch of them on hand just to have them because they're so cheap. But that's kind of what today's video is about, guys. Keeping paint fun, keeping paint interesting. We all had to start somewhere. And for a lot of us, this purple gun was it. So I'm going to issue a challenge to my fellow YouTube painters. Pick up a Harbor Freight purple gun. It's only like 16 bucks. And do a spray out with it. Show everybody how to set up a paint gun right out of the box. And talk about your experiences as a painter in general, guys. Go back through down the rabbit hole to, where you started, why you got into the passion, and just what was your favorite car that you did? Did you just have a car that you wanted to paint and decide to pick up a gun and learn? Just kind of go into it, make it relatable, make it fun. And that's kind of been what my channel is all about, guys. Helping everybody from established painters all the way to somebody that's never even touched a paint gun before that wants to get into it and save some money. So let's unbox this real quick. It's not a lot to it, guys. Honestly, when you get it, it's going to come all packaged up. This is your cup. Pretty simple. Just a regular old cup. Clean spray gun immediately after every use. Well, that's a good idea, but a lot of people use these things and then throw them away. It comes with your install instructions. Man, I don't remember it being this detailed. It's got a lot of pictures and stuff. It comes with a cleaner brush. Kind of get in the hard to reach places. And then the paint gun itself, guys. Nothing much to it. It comes with this little strainer piece up top. I hate these things right here. I know some people like to use them or whatever else. I just don't care for them, guys. I always keep them out, so we'll put that right back in the box. And yeah, it's pretty basic, guys, not a whole lot to it. If you do decide to spray with this right here, there are a couple of other accessories that don't come with the gun you will need. They got these little water separators, guys. You want to keep water out of your paint. They got two different kinds. They got this one right here, this little blue one that screws on, and then these little cork-looking ones. Almost looks like the cork that floats when you're fishing. So they got two of those. I got this one right here. You will need the correct nozzle attachment for your air hose line. I got a 3/8 line, and this is the correct one for mine. Probably grab one of the attachments, or maybe take the nozzle with you to the one you got and check it up against when you go buy these at Harbor Freight. Also, you'll need a pressure regulator. Now, you can regulate the pressure from the bottom of the gun, but you don't have a gauge, so you won't know how much it is. So definitely picking one of these up while you're at Harbor Freight is a great investment to help you out. So, all right, well, I'm going to get this thing all attached together. Make sure you get some Teflon tape to seal your fittings. And basically the way you want to do it is you put the air hose fitting attachment on there first. Then you put your water separator, then your regulator, and then you screw it onto the gun. And then we'll get to setting it up. So let me get set up and we'll set it up. I just realized something, guys. This thing is supposed to come with the toolkit. Mine did not come with the toolkit. Somebody has stole the toolkit. It comes with a little tool like that right there. Man, daggone Harbor Freight. Well, check your box before you leave the store, guys, and make sure you get your toolkit. So, all right, let's get into setting it up. All right, guys, something I like to do before we even start messing with this paint gun and setting up an adjustment, just to make sure everything is good. A lot of times these are packaged with oils and stuff in it, and then you go to take it right out of the box and shoot stuff through it, and it makes an absolute mess in your paint job. So good practice is to take these guns completely apart and clean them, or at least, at the very least, put a little bit of acetone in it like I just did there, and flush the whole thing out real quick before you start going full scale anything. So I'm going to put this lid on right here and just shake it up, guys. Pull the trigger, And look at that, I already got a leak. So that right there tells you guys, you want to check your seals and everything else, because a lot of times these guns, well, they're not always pressed together the right way. So we're going to take it apart real quick, and we're going to double check everything before we get into it. So, all right, let's take this off real quick, and let's see where our problem is, why we got a leak. Let's see, that looks all right. That seems all right. Huh. Everything looks all right from what I can tell. Well, let's pull this fitting off. Wow, this thing's on there tight. Hang on. Wow. It's on there real tight. Wow, the whole thing is turning. All right, I've never had this problem before, so let's get into it. Take it apart. Wow, the whole thing came apart. Huh. Well, luckily, since the whole thing came apart, I can show you guys that's a little sealer piece. And on front of it, you got a little white O-ring. And this right here actually is keyed. It has an Allen key, guys. So a lot of times, these parts right here will get locked on and stuck. So what we can do is, I'm going to go grab an Allen key real quick and we'll break it loose. So hang on. Alright, I had to find one that fits, but basically an Allen key goes right in there. And then I'm going to try and do this without having to put anything in a vise, because that's going to be a pain. Hang on. Dang! Alright, I'm going to have to go to the vise. Finally. Alright. Now we're back in business. So I think it goes without saying, you do not have to kill these things when you assemble them. Wow. Alright, let's see if I can get my Allen wrench back out. Wow. And look at that. You guys see that? Look at all that nastiness built up. That's why I say take these things apart before you ever use them and clean them thoroughly. So, alright, that's going down in the acetone bucket. Might as well take this and clean that in the acetone bucket. This, I've got to get it out of this daggone Allen wrench now. So what I had to do to get this out was use a rag and a pair of vice grips and just lightly turn it, because my Allen key had just wedged in there. So hopefully you guys don't have the same problems I did with it, but it is a common issue, and I figured might as well show it because some people are going to have it happen. So alright, let's put this back together. And this is never fun when it happens, but things do happen, so might as well show you guys how to fix it. Alright. Alright, good to go. Put this back on. Run some acetone through it one more time, and we'll be ready to take it over there and test it out and see how she sprays. Alright, so I think today's setup has gone completely wrong in every way, shape, or form, but we fixed it. And that's kind of okay for me today, guys, because we're using a beginner gun, and I'm showing you guys how to fix certain problems you might have with any paint gun. Just because it's a cheap gun doesn't mean it's the reason it's acting up. Some of these guns are made in different places, and they come packaged different ways, and sometimes they're over tight and miss. Same thing, I had a subscriber the other day ask me about when you release the trigger on his gun, for a minute the air would hiss, and what that is usually is trash. Right here where this needle is, this needle right here actually controls your paint flow, guys, how much paint it throws out. And what it is your trigger adjustment. When you pull this all the way back, this adjustment right here regulates how far it lets you to pull it back, which dictates how much paint comes out. You got this adjustment down here at the bottom. This is for air pressure. You can turn it in and make it go up, and that cuts your airflow down, or you back it out all the way out, and that allows you to have more air pressure to regulate everything. So you want to back this all the way out if you're using a regulator, because you're using the regulator to regulate things, not this right here. This right here, this is your middle adjustment. This is your fan pattern adjustment. So this can control how wide your fan pattern is. So as far as setting this stuff up, fan pattern wise, I typically like to open it all the way and then turn it back about 3/4 of a turn. And that gets you kind of in the ballpark. You're looking for a football pattern, guys. This one, like I said, this is the air inlet that your regulator controls. Open that all the way up. And then your throw adjustment, you want to pull the trigger all the way back. You want to turn this in right here until you feel tension, and then turn it in another 3/4 of the way. And then it's got a little locking ring right here you can lock. So that's how you set that up as far as getting a good pattern goes. And I'm going to be running this gun at 40 PSI static, and then when you pull the trigger it drops down to 35. Per the box, that's where they say it's a good point, and this is an HVLP, so I'm running it a little bit higher than I run some of my LVLP guns. So let's see where we're at right now with the trigger. So I pull it right there. I got a fan pattern really wide like that. I'm going to dial the trigger in a little bit more. And I'm holding it about 8 to 10 inches away, guys. See how it's doing more of a football pattern right there? I'm going to dial it in a little bit more. And there you go. You got a good consistent pattern. The edges are rounded, and that's kind of what you want to see. So once you get in that ballpark, you're doing pretty good. Like I said, I had to switch the regulator up on mine because the regulator was messing up. So this is one I got off of Temu. That's why it looks different. So yeah, you just have to make sure all your stuff works. Definitely open your box and check everything before you leave Harbor Freight. Make sure you got all your stuff. And yeah, let's shoot a test panel. Alright guys, now we're all set up. Whether you're doing a Rust-Oleum paint job or an automotive paint job, you can pick what paint you want to use. Some people have asked me for seeing single stage paint jobs, so I picked silver today, guys. I had some laying around. It's automotive fast dry, so it's the cheapest single stage paint you can get. It thins with automotive grade reducer. What you choose to paint with is on you. Check the labels on your can. It'll tell you how to mix everything, but for purposes of this video, we're just diving into the paint gun. So I'm gonna put the mask on. I'm gonna do a light coat first just to get tack onto the panel. Make sure you prep your panels properly too. And then we'll just give it about 5 or 10 minutes to flash off, and then we'll do a slightly heavier coat and then another heavier coat, and I'm just gonna show you how this gun performs overall, and then I'll show you the final results. So I'm putting the mask on. Let's get to spraying. So I got into painting about 20 years ago, guys. Among the many paint guns I shot with was the Harbor Freight purple gun. It was cheap and affordable at the time. I was learning to paint. I used it to primer the deck lid on my Mitsubishi Eclipse I had back in the day. I was wanting to shave some holes and eliminate it because I was about to paint it and put a body kit on it, and eventually did paint it, and it was my first ever full paint job. And of course my dad helped me out with most of it because he's an automotive painter as well from back in the day, and it turned out pretty good, guys. I can't lie. I mean, it was a Durango Copper Pearl was the color. It's a factory Mitsubishi Eclipse color. I had that full Fast and the Furious body kit on it and everything else, and man, I loved it. But ever since then I've been hooked, always trying to find cheap ways to save money doing paint jobs, and then, you know, obviously help others. As far as the shop goes back in the day, I tell you guys all the time that it used to be just a shed, so I'm going to put up a few pictures of that and let you see it. Man, it's a big difference now from what it was back in the day. So over 20 years I've built things up over time. I've had a lot of help. I've been truly blessed that my family supported me in all of this, and I've had many other jobs and always done painting on the side for friends or buying, selling cars to flip through Copart and stuff like that. So, you know, it's just been a passion of mine, and now I'm passing on all my knowledge that I've learned and picked up from doing automotive paint and from doing cheap Rust-Oleum paint jobs and making my own crazy paint jobs on a budget to you guys. So I don't know if you guys noticed, my gun started spitting on me. I'm going to show you something real quick. Watch this. Let's see if it'll do it. I was starting to have it drip out of this right here, so we still got a leak down there. So now I'm going to tear this whole gun apart after painting it, and then I'll finally show you guys the results outside. So let me get my air hose set up real quick and we'll get to cleaning and disassembling. Really curious to see why this gun was spitting this time. Now, like I said, this is very rare. I don't usually have this much trouble with these guns. I don't know why I'm having so many problems with this one. Probably because I decided to make a video. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I tore this gun all the way down. You see all that gunk build up from where it was packaged? That's why we're having issues with everything. I'm going to clean it really good, and yeah, that should fix it. Alright guys, so these are the final results I got today. Now keep in mind, this is Fast Dry Silver by Nason, so it's the cheapest of the cheap. This ain't even really single stage, guys. This is well, it has no hardener to it. So you basically just spray it and go. And these are the results you can kind of get. Obviously, I shot it with the Harbor Freight gun, and I was having some issues. It was spitting on me a little bit. So just make sure you clean your gun really good ahead of time, and you can get decent results. Alright guys, this is the spray out for today. Kind of cheap and simple, but so was the paint gun we used. The Harbor Freight Purple HVLP gun, a $16 paint gun, and we got pretty decent results. Did I have some issues with the paint gun? Yes. I had to take this thing apart and clean it really good, put it back together. It still had a little bit of trash. The further I dug into it, the more I saw just gum and stuff like that from where it had been assembled and sitting on a shelf. So as with any of these paint guns, guys, whether it's the cheapest $16 paint gun or a multiple $100 DeVilbiss or something like that, take your guns apart ahead of time. That way you know the ins and outs of your gun. Clean it really good, assemble it, make sure you have no trash in it so you don't have nothing just obstructing these little air passages, because any of that can make the gun spit, can make it do all sorts of things, and then you get some orange peel and stuff like that. Some of the orange peel in this today actually was because I used fast dry Nason paint, and it's kind of in the name. It dries super quick. It's kind of a one and done. You just need to get a color match real quick or get something in the ballpark and go. So it flashes off really quick. It's very humid today, so that's why I got kind of the results I did. But nonetheless, guys, rate the color, rate the spray out. It's 636R Silver Ice GM color if you're interested in it. And you can pick up one of these at your local Harbor Freight. It's a great entry-level gun to get you going. Make sure you buy all the accessories you need, a water separator, a regulator, unless you have one on your compressor and you want to dial it down that way. And make sure you get the little fitting attachment right here so that your gun can click in. Don't just buy the paint gun and think you're ready to go, because you do have to buy a couple more accessories. So it ends up being about, I say about $30, $35 altogether for a full setup from Harbor Freight. But if you got a local one, you can run up there and grab it just about any time. They always have these in stock, and sometimes they're running specials. You can get it for under $10 with a membership. But I appreciate you guys for watching today. We just hit 25,000 subscribers. I am truly blessed and grateful to each and every single one of you for watching and supporting these videos, and just, you know, learning something new, having fun together each and every day with these spray outs, paint jobs. We're working on a chop truck. We're getting back on that real soon, and tutorials, product reviews like the hose reel, all kinds of different things, guys. You just never know what's going to pop up next on Whitley Auto Works. So a big thank you again to everybody that continues to subscribe, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscription button. It helps me out tremendously with the algorithm. Ring that bell notification beside it so you don't miss an episode, and drop me a quick like and comment. What are your thoughts on the purple paint gun? Have you ever used it before? What was your experience? What was your first paint gun? What did you do your first paint job with? I love to hear all your guys' stories and thoughts in the comments and everything else. So I appreciate you for watching today, guys. I'm John from Whitley Auto Works. Hope you guys have a great day. God bless, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.